Hello, it's me. I'm just making a quick video. When I say quick, maybe
We have just one. This.
yeah,
We
there is.
don't have a big.
There's another one here, another one here.
This.
Shells. Tray, yeah, there's just that one. You have. Why?
Maybe we need a heater as well.
No, I'll take it out and see. Good day. Salutations. Happy Sunday. Want to go outside, but the mans are everywhere. Want some privacy. I see there's something going down in Sri Lanka. As Euronews is telling me there. Anne-Marie, bless her, I've trained her well. Oh no, I've just infracted on an article of copyright. It's game over for me. Look at that. Didn't even do that on purpose. But Sri Lanka bombs, I hear. Francis of the Papal Seas giving his blessings and dedicating his Sunday service to those lost souls. So we will keep an eye on that and say our prayers, our thoughts. Anybody that's affected by that, I'm sure we know a few between us. So we will send our thoughts and investigate and see what comes out in the wash as always. So immediately splashing down and with the somber news, but I've just walked in and seen that as it was a story being covered there. Black Magic. Black Magic. There's a song. It disturbs me greatly. Magic, black, themes going on here. I do like yellow. This was a purchase when we was out in Hungary that I found in a shopping centre. I thought the Greek and then the snake. I like the snake. It's not to do with evil. Serpents, winged serpents, serpentines. But the song, Black Magic, and the lyrics there, as I've said, if you are celebrating or you're considering celebrating or celebrating for reasons of, then celebration of what and why, where and when. Let's put you down so it keeps steady. A way to measure a civilization's capabilities, intelligence, understanding and general mindset would be to look at its music content quality and output over a general broad media, not just what comes out of one radio station, what comes out of them all, what comes out of all of the online media, visual videos and the content of those lyrics. Now I'm aware of what day it is and how we're all proud of who we are, where we're at, and the sun may be shining and the vibrations are good, but straight away it's a mask. It's a fake mask that we put on, a bit like drinking. Gets you drunk for a bit, you wake up and your problems are still there. Black magic, Black's law, black dictionary, black officers, dark arts, occult and so forth. And the song entitled Black Magic, you can search the lyrics out for yourself. Disturbed me greatly. It's by a young UK pop band that are all girls, and I do believe there was launched on a show that may have had an X in it, and yeah, it's very sad that you have these young ladies going out there saying that they're going to make you fall in love with them, and they're going to be using black magic. They're going to be putting a spell on you, and they've got this potion, and after one kiss and so forth and so on, the ladies are losing their etiquette. They're they're by design feminine and not being sexist or racist now. Just bear with me. Male scribes of Indy, how do you like your ladies? Do you like them butch and naked and leaving nothing to the imagination, or would you prefer them, sorry, body language, would you prefer them a little bit more dressed as opposed to scantily clad, leaving something to the imagination, some respect about them, some fashion, cutting edge, designs and so forth, floral, pastels, we're not bothered, but clothing on when you first meet. Certain things are a given, but in these lyrics that I'm hearing, they're not bothered where the man has been. They just want to allegedly commit the sin, as it's known. So I'm not religious in any way. We have faith. I'm not trying to preach today, but just poignant, just critical things of like where we're at and how we're at there. And whilst we're all going this way in the just right and proper and celebrating the rebirth of the man Jesus Christ and so forth and so on, obviously if you're a follower of Islam or you are a non-Christian, you won't be doing that. Funny how the markets out there and the banks and the systems of commerce are governed by this religious day. Why is it so important? Why do they honour that? Why is it honoured? Why do we have this shutdown? In effect, commerce is still going off, but certain sectors do decide to drop out. Magic, mother, G, the IC. If you spell the word magic, M-A, mother, coming from Mada, all of the etymology that we've brought to you from that and what Josh has since brought and expanded on. Magic and the words, the phonics, the language is here to disguise the phonics, to disguise the actual message, the intent, you know. The pineal gland is suffering a battering, the shields are up all around that, calcification and so forth and poisoning. So your vibrations, your intent may well be great here, but subconsciously and on the grand scheme of things, I think we're all pretty much putting a mask on. I see there's been some activity in London. I see that a great deal of us aren't, a great many of us aren't happy, aren't comfortable. And yes, I just thought we are planning a hangout for later. I've just put that on Indie, so it's set for about 8:30 on this channel with brothers and some sisters maybe. So I've emailed Jay, YouTube channel, scribe here, Sister Jay, and I've asked her if she wants to have a chat today with Andy and I, and with it we're going live later. I've let Josh know, Kev know, Andy know. So yeah, we'll enjoy the day, the photons and the rays from the sun, the Ra, Amen, Ra, and yes, I thought I'd adorn this marvelous yellow, vibrant thread. The theme is, I do like it. So tomorrow I'm not about. Many of you may have some time free. I unfortunately have to go running around. I will see you in the evening. Will, Lev, Christina, how are you all? Good day, salutations fam. Same is happening to men, but the real men are getting harder and harder to find. Yeah, they've got metrosexual, gender fluid. Is very confusing there, and the icons are doing that. You know, the Pepsi generations and the generations of the media. You know, I only saying that because of the Michael Jackson and the other iconic influences that they've had and what I'm following with them and their generational influence, media, music. These iconic members there, Carly, you know, wow, I can't even think of them all. The way that the music is, the way that it sounds, not just the lyrical content, the tones, the vibrations, the reverb, the actual structure of it on a whole sounds pretty shamanic, tribal, and quite disturbing overall. Each to their own. We're not saying that it's all bad, because it isn't, but the majority, what's coming out of the mainstream and the masses that wear these iPods and listen to the music on a whole each day, going to indoctrination at the school, or going to be a slave in servitude, voluntary albeit, you're listening to that. So many of you don't program that way, but a lot of us do, too many. So system knows that. The ones that are asleep, a common cannon fodder. I'm just watching some coverage of the Colombo, Sri Lanka, and now I'm aware of internet rules. I won't be showing any TV or anything, because that's what will be the next cull upon us all. Infractions upon the POL ISIS and the off ISIS policy of the casting and what you've done. There is an email in my inbox from YouTube and the partners there saying that I can run a tool on the account and see if anybody has got a copy of my videos on another channel, and if they have, this tool will allow me to identify all the channels with copies of the videos on my channel that are unauthorized, and the same for every other scribe that's got channels and accounts. and when it runs, it will then identify the channels that are hosting duplicate videos of the accounts, authorized or un, because Santos has got some, I've got some of Santos's, Jordan Maxwell, fair usage, reporting, non-for-profit, no adverts are on them, anything like that. They're not monetarized, it's all done in honour with clean hands. Original sources and links are put. So hold tight, here we go. We'll see what the, you know, the officers and the policy makers think of this, because what will happen now is that each scribe that uses that tool will identify other channels, and that would tell me, to be fair, I can use that tool not as a overseer officer and reporting back to YouTube and putting in claims of copyright infringement and so forth, because it will all be authorized, and we put stuff out to be shared and to be copied, and anything we want in the private goes on the .com and doesn't get broadcast live. So that's an easy way around that. But as for the work and the structure and the outline of some of the theses and hypothesis, that's a lot of intellectual work that man would own. It's everybody's property and right to have information, but unlike the ancient old times, we covet that. It gets kept in by governments and secret publications. Looks like Alexandria Library, that's now been archived under the Vatican, one would argue, as opposed to burnt down. Information is coveted, and it's kept to a fine few, the elite and the monarchs and ones that need to know. So we are quite aware of how important and how restricted some of these information portals are, but these tools would allow me to find others like myself that are sharing and caring, and it would allow me to contact them and say, what you're doing, rather than turn into an officer and report them. A bit like what we said about the fact that neighbourhoods have a community watch, you know, doing the bobbies job for them. We'll no longer put bobbies onto the street under the Pelion Code of Policing and such, and common law protection and duties and obligations of peacekeeping and so forth. What we'll do is we'll let the communities do that. We'll stick cameras up everywhere, and we'll just sit in the road waiting to speed trap and infract upon various little things that are governable by consent, that we mandatory make it governable, and we'll dress in black and use big teams, and we'll pretend that we know the law. Wow. Interesting, isn't it? So there is no protection as such. There is mass failings with protections, whether the Pope mourns them and glorifies this or not. They are allowing drones to shut down airports. If we ran the governments, yes, I assure you now, there would be mass protection already in place, because we think ahead, we do. We don't wait for the brown stuff to hit the fan and go, oh, shocking. You know, it's the failures are gross, the failures are many, and man is falling by the wayside. We can condemn the cruel violence and say how heinous these are, but we're not doing anything other than forcing in the military rule and the the policy and the codes and the penal systems of these elite and invisible ones that don't actually abide by it. But we will. So I see a lot of activity on the streets. We will be talking and getting your comments in later about all current events. We'll give Kevin, Josh, Andy a chance to give updates. I've put links into the video for Andy and Josh's channel. So I believe brother Andy is up to about 710-ish, 15. I'm watching that closely. So yeah, if you can go over there and give him a nudge and a subscribe, that will help him get to the 1,000 mark, the pinnacle that we need for him to go live. Kevin's got some updates as well. We have got some updates on the interface with the agents of the departments of. Yes, Josh and I touched base. He's going to be travelling up maybe later in the week to come and have a chat. I've told you about the MP3 function of the archive on the group. We're creating a sovereign vault for audio files that are imperative learning, by passive ways. So we'll put those key parts of our casts and other ones that we've got archived that we think are relative and important up there for you to download. We're currently doing work in the back office there. I plan to have yet tomorrow off, but it's not worked out that way through no fault of my own. I may be wearing a yellow vest, but it is not significant of the France or anything like that. Do not take this as a code or a message for, oh yes, it's a yellow. It's just a mighty fine thread that I saw, and I thought, hey, oh, come on, I look strong in that. Good quality, and I'm liking my yellow. It's a vibrational thing, good vibrations, inwardly project, outwardly attract, magnets, toruses, atom, ick, you know, nuclear visions. We're giving you lots of nuclear visions. These boxes here that many of us have on are just here to purport the north, east and west and south news. North, east, west, south. It's a compass. News is an anagram in my crazy mind of the compass. North, east, south, west. News, north, you know, you got it mixed up, but it's there, isn't it? And the stories don't purport to be factual evidence, like the Bible, the twin bull. It's the greatest story ever told, allegedly, you know, but some of us think it could be factual, true, referenceable to the exact minute, moment. It does predict things that happen after its creation, which is fascinating to say the least, and how we are in modern times now. So while you have these religions dictating commerce and the Admiralty, the Maritime, the Ecclesies, you know, the UCC's running 100% full-time 24/7, man's conscious, man's integrity, man's self-esteem, man's everything is running, you know, 100%. We're in a court now. I am presenting to you testamentary beliefs that, you know, black magic, it's everywhere and it comes in many forms. You may not recognize it, but we'd like you to consider that. Now, where symbology, shapes, vibrations, reverse speech, you know, what you watch, how they get you into the cursive area of the spelling of the dictions and the fictions and the p nulls. Interesting, and quite by accident you may end up with unclean hands. Once you have the unclean hands, the time for probation to get the knowledge and to get clean hands is very short, given the current status of everybody's feedback, emails, opinion, and state of well-being now. It looks like we're in a pinnacle crossroads, a point in time where a lot is coming to the table. We need to manage this well, and we are not saying we want to manage it well, but we can utilize the .com, the functionality, the fact we've got a kick-ass website, IT technician, a loving support team that are in fact not trustees but agents or emissaries of this movement that we could facilitate as a class, as a mass, together, peacefully, intelligently, non-violently, to our benefit, and we can be the ones to benefit rather than the ones to submit and, you know, protest. You make your own mind up about that. I've seen some bikers in London brought to me recently by brother, doesn't matter, brother that I was chatting to earlier. And I commend what they've done there. I'm not saying we should do that, but showing how you feel, showing how you want to exercise your rights to display your dissatisfaction. A notice of lawful objection, rejection, ejection, certain things that we can ask and use. It may sound silly now to get pens to paper and thumbprints, declarations, and you know, status, standing and capacities, last will and testaments, testification, testator, you know, settlor, grantor, mortgagor, creditor, you know, the creator is the biggest of all the you know, ways and things that we speak. So whichever way you think, whichever way you feel, if you are finding yourselves at a crossroad, a personal crossroad, a physical crossroad, a mental, a health, a wealth, financial, or you would just like to chat about what the options are for your interaction with us, the trust that we have, the understanding, the upper standing or the overstanding. We are at ease here, soldiers, and we are all in the private, and we're looking forward to linking up later. I am going to say for 2 hours, 7:30 to 10:30, all right, and if you've got anything specific to to get out, then write it in there now. The cast is set up. You can go to the video link and give us your nudges, comments, links, anything like that. We are looking at promoting a mortgage, credit, finance expansion from the casts that we've done regarding the stories that are on the home pages with the great mortgage swindle, the two Michaels, and Professor Brother, also Richard Werner of the Werner clan, and his financial studies. We'd like to answer questions on that. I did mention yesterday about a chat with another brother sovereign that was on about the land registry and death certificates and what happens at the registry after the 7 years, and EIN numbers and CUSIP. I did look into what happened with the TDA and Heather and Harvey Dent and the intellectual movement with the kickback some years ago now. Treasury Direct, and there was numbers and things given to us there, and bank account sort code checkers. I have retained all of that information, but I'm looking to obtain fresh, new, further afield information to give a comparative look at what I have already obtained with regards to accounts, national insurance numbers, international Securities Exchange Commission functionalities, authenticated birth certificates that can be used to trade with sovereign nations, international merchant bankers, and also other areas such as this. Then we can only then comprise, after getting all of the information, which route and pathway would be the just, right and proper, rather than just turning up at a random court, knocking and trying to bring down the whole system and failing miserably on many areas. So language is key, communication, thinking on, planning forward does help, I'm afraid. It's not something we're good at. Savings, planning, I'm quite obsessive by it. That's why we manage and we facilitate as best as we can. We're not perfect, and we are doing continuous improvement. So I'll leave it at that. There is your advance notice and hello for this day of sun. Comments are, man, sit down. Rest me bones. Your born day, soul journey day, looks, born day, definitely not birthday. I'm sure you'll get some comments underneath of what others think. Your Ayov, Shivai Jagnath, Shivaboom, Om Atum. Easy, nice one. Lev. One love to the chat, blessings, Jerry. Not very nice that Ayov, I'm not feeling the love there. What's going on? Shut babbling. You're in one of your sarky moods. One love, brother. Turns you into a civil I instead of I am. What's Jerry? Instead of an I am, as that's an I of. And so say all of us. Thank you, Lux. Merci beaucoup. Enjoy, indeedy. Bonjour, mon ami. Merci beaucoup. Toilet water. Ciao. Arrivederci. See ya. We'll be back later. I'll collect up the fam. The hangout's already there. Your links are in it. The watch page. So enjoy the rest of the beautiful rays. I do see not a cloud in the sky. So I'm going to go and assist Anne-Marie. So I've come round to help her, and we'll speak.